That's right. Your thoughts aren't real. Did you know that? How many people know that their thoughts aren't real? I see a lot of hands, some hands going up and some not. Oh.
No way.
No way. Thoughts are imaginal. Thoughts aren't real. We are making up our thoughts every moment of every day. Now, we're not always doing it consciously. Sometimes thoughts just pop into our head and we go, where did that come from? You're on the freeway or you're going out onto the Deerfoot and someone cuts right in front of you. Suddenly you have all these thoughts about what a jerk that person is and what a terrible driver they are. We don't know that for sure. Maybe they're in an emergency. Maybe he's having a heart attack and he's got to get over to the side of the road right away so he doesn't hurt anybody. We really don't know. But those thoughts that we might have about that person, we just created them on the spot, just like that. And we do it all the time. It's not our thoughts that are real, and it's not really our thoughts that create, it's the choices that we make based on those thoughts. I can sit here all day long and think about being fit. I'm fit. I'm strong. Yes, I can run 10 miles. I could think that way for 1,000 years, and I wouldn't be able to run a mile. I have to actually get up off the couch and go outside, put my runners on, and run. And exercise and lift weights if I want to be healthy. Thinking about it doesn't make it so. It's what we do with our thoughts that makes it so. There's our thoughts, and there's our choices and our actions. And it's really our choices and our actions that create our reality. But they are based on what we think. That's why thinking is so important. But if we believe what we think, it lowers our options greatly. If I believe I'm bad at math, I'm going to resist doing anything around math. I'm not gonna go look for a job as a teller or an accountant. Those jobs are out of it because I'm not good at math. And I believe that I'm not good at math. And if I believe I'm not good at math, I'm not going to do those things. I'm not very coordinated. I'm not going to go for sports. I'm not going to, even if I long to be out there and play baseball with all the other kids, I'm not going to do it if I think I'm uncoordinated and I'm not very athletic. I just won't do those things. And so those thoughts, believing those thoughts, limits me. And maybe I'm not that fit or coordinated at the moment, but I could be. I could learn to be coordinated. I could learn to be fit and agile. I could learn to hit a ball, to catch a ball, to pass a puck. I can learn any of that. But if I'm thinking that, believing that I'm not fit, I'm not coordinated, I'm not going to be doing any of those things. We tend to think of our thoughts as primary, but our thoughts aren't primary. It's our heart's desires that are primary. It's our heart's desires that we should be holding in mind, that we should be honoring first and moving through our world from that place and using our thoughts as a tool to create our heart's desires. I want to be a hockey player. So what do? Well, if that's my heart's desire, I'm going to think, how can I be a better hockey? How can I be a hockey player? Well, I could take classes. I could watch, videos. I could watch other hockey. I could go to hockey games. There's all kinds of things I could do that would make me a good hockey player. And then, of course, I have to actually get up and go do them. Often, we don't follow our heart's desires because we believe what we think. We believe that our thoughts are real, and I can't be a writer or For me, I can't be a public speaker. I can't be someone that goes out and talks to the world and shares my ideas, even though I long to do that. Because I had this belief for most of my life that what I have to say isn't important. I grew up with 6 kids. I was the 5th of 6 children, which means I had 3 older sisters and an older brother. You think I got my needs met much when I was a kid? Do you think my 3 older sisters and older brother thought much about what I thought? Oh, shut up, Bob! Jeez! That's what they had to say about it. So what did I start to think? Well, I started to think that, oh, maybe what I have to say or what I have to think isn't that important. And I had that thought over and over again because I had that repetitive experience of me having this great idea, and let's go do this, and let's go, no, we're not doing that. We're doing this. And I'm me just being this tiny little guy here, and my sisters and my brother up here. Well, you know who went out there? Not me. And so I started to have this thought over and over again that what I had to say wasn't important. Until I didn't even think it anymore. It just became part of who I was. It became a belief. And once I believed that thought, it dictated my choices. It dictated my attitude. It dictated how I felt about myself. I started to think that I didn't matter. What I have to say isn't important. I have no impact on other people. I certainly didn't have much impact, or didn't seem like it, with my older sisters and brother. So I started to believe that I didn't matter. And yet, now, I realize that I do matter. And that I look around and I see, I think a lot of us have that belief. That who we are doesn't matter. That who we are doesn't really make a difference. But I can tell you for a fact that's not true. Katie, you matter to me. You make a difference in my life. Who you are matters to me. Susan, you make a difference in my life. When I'm in your presence, I feel stronger. I feel like I belong. Tina, Neil, when you taught that passion test workshop, when you're up here speaking, you matter. You make a difference to me. I look forward to hearing you speak. You have wisdom to share, and I can learn and grow from it. Lorraine, your big heart, sharing it with people, sharing it with me matters. You make a difference to me. You matter. Agat, Wanda, you smile every time you see me and you want to give me a hug. That matters. That makes a difference in my life. All of you matter. Adele, same thing. I come over and I sit beside you and look and you smile with this warm smile and you give me a big hug. That makes a difference in my life. You matter. Bruce, sitting there week after week, every week you're here, supporting unity, being here for others, supporting yourself. You matter. That makes a difference. Your being here every week shows me that unity's a good place to be, that maybe there's something here worthwhile. Musicians and singers, you matter. You make a difference in my life every week. Anthony, Doug, Vivian, Laura, Bob, Pat. That music makes a difference. It sings in my heart. It wakes me up. It matters. It makes me feel good. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts with me. We all matter. All of you matter to me. All of you are making a difference in my life right now, simply by being here and listening to me. You make a difference. And you all have dreams. You all have heart's desires. And if you really do matter, don't you think it would be worth it to go out and have those? To go out and strive for that which you really want? Don't you think you deserve it? You do. You do deserve it. So go out there. What is your heart's desire? And then use your thoughts creatively to make it happen. You can do it. I'll give you a little story, a made-up story of Farmer Bob. Farmer Bob has a chicken farm. And he's been on that chicken farm his whole life. That is his life, his chicken farm. He loves his chicken farm. And he's got a partner that he just loves, his best friend, he's known forever, who's there to help him on his chicken farm. And his name is Mr. Fox. And Mr. Fox wants to help him, and he does every day. He's there for Mr. Bob, Farmer Bob. And there's just one problem. He keeps losing chickens. And so he got up one morning and there was 10 chickens gone. So the first thing he does, of course, is he goes to Mr. Fox. Mr. Fox, Mr. Fox, we lost another 10 chickens. And Mr. Fox goes, oh no, oh that's too bad. I can't believe it. I worked so hard to protect them. I can't believe we lost the 10 more. But don't worry, Farmer Bob. I got this. I'll take care of it. And so Farmer Bob goes, whew, all right. Mr. Fox is going to take care of it. But you know, the next day, there's a few more chickens gone. Farmer Bob, when he first started his chicken farm, had 1,000 chickens. 10 years later, you know how many chickens he's got? Hey? 5. That's right. 5 chickens left. Even with all Mr. Fox's help, you know, the chickens just keep disappearing. But of course you know why that is, right? Because Mr. Fox loves to eat chickens. He gobbles them up every chance he gets. But he still loves Mr. Bob. He wants to help, but he just can't help but eat those chickens when he sees them. And then, of course, he makes up all these different stories about why the chickens keep disappearing, so that he doesn't have to get blamed for it. So you think of Mr. Bob, of course, as me, who I am. Who's Mr. Fox? My thinking, my intellect, good and bad. My thinking is Mr. Fox. And who are the chickens? Eh?
Dreams.
My heart's desires. My heart's desires are the chickens. So we need to put our intellect, our ego, that self, myself, yourself, who you think you are, in a position of servant, not master. If we want to ever keep our chickens alive, we gotta put our intellect on hold. And we have to be the boss, not the intellect. We have to trust that what we desire is important, and then use our thinking and only choose those thoughts which support that. And we can do that. We can do that. I want you to take a moment right now to relax. Get comfortable in your chair, close your eyes. With our heart's desires, there's always a feeling that comes with it. We want the new car, we want the relationship, we want lots of money in the bank because of a feeling. Some feeling. A feeling of security, a feeling of comfort, a feeling of belonging. So I want you to just close your eyes right now and choose a feeling that you really like to feel. Let's pick joy. Let's just choose one. Let's choose joy right now. What would be joyful? What is an activity that you do that has allowed you to feel joy in the past? Playing with a puppy? Having a child? Holding a baby? Go there now. Go Go to that place, walking in the fields, fishing in a river. Whatever it is that brings you joy, or that has brought you joy in the past, go there. And feel what that felt like. Call that feeling into this present moment. This is using your thoughts in a creative way, in a productive way. See if you can feel that feeling right in your heart. See if you can allow it to grow, to get bigger. Now allow that feeling to stay with you if you can, as you come back into the room. You just created a moment of joy. Just like that. So if you created one moment of joy, couldn't you create another? And another? Of course you can. You want to feel accomplished? You can create that. What's something you did in the past that allowed you to feel accomplished? You could do that again. Whatever you did in the past to help you feel joy, you can do that again. You are so much more powerful than you think. You can create whatever you want. If you don't believe all those negative thoughts you've been thinking about yourself, if you can just let those go, or if they come up, you can go, oh, wait a minute, that thought's not real. That's an imaginal thought. I don't want to create that. My thoughts of I'm not good enough, or that I don't matter, every time that thought pops into my head now, I go, oh, wait a minute. Nope. That's not a real thought. I don't believe that for a minute. I'm letting that one go. Of course, I have to do it over and over and over and over and over again. And so will you. You'll just have to do it over and over. But if you can catch yourself, every time you have that one of those negative thoughts, you've got it made. Because those thoughts will start to fall away. And if you replace it with the thought you do want to have, then you're really cooking with gas. You're really going to have some fun. There's what was his name? True Guy Stallhurst last week. You know, our negative thoughts, we dig holes all the time with our negative thoughts, don't we? I dig holes that I think I'll never get out of. You remember what Stu said when you find yourself in a hole, the first thing you need to do? Stop digging. That's right. So imagine, this is a hammer of negative thoughts, negative thinking. This is me having a negative thought. And imagine you go to the doctor, you know, and go, Doc, I'm getting a headache. I've had these headaches for a while now. And I just don't know what to do. And the doc says, oh, well, here, let me have a look. And he checks your body out, and he gives you a few pills, and you go home, and, you come back next week, and, no, doc, I don't know, I still got this headache. It seems to be getting worse. And, oh, here, well, here's a stronger pill. We'll give you a stronger pill here. Hopefully that'll work. Well, is that going to work? No. You got to take the hammer out of the poor woman's hand, right? Or the man's hand to get rid of that headache. What does that mean for you? You have a negative thought, you got to put that negative thought down. Imagine it's a hammer hitting you on the head. Every time you have a negative thought. Every time you have a thought that you don't want to think. Or any time you have a thought that makes you feel the way you don't want to feel, that's you hitting your head with a hammer. And the only way, no doctor's going to help, no perfect relationship is going to help, no perfect diet is going to help. The only thing that's going to help is if you put the hammer down. If you stop thinking that thought. Not just once, but every time it comes up. And replace it with a thought that works for you. With a thought that does make you feel good. You have that power. We all have that power. Put your thoughts into service of your heart's desires. Let your heart's desires come first. And you will have them. I'm going to take us into a small meditation now. Remember, your thoughts aren't real. They're imaginal. You make them up. Make up ones that feel good.